Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. It is Tuesday, the 26th of December, 2017, and it is Boxing Day. It is the day when, if you drink wine, you could only drink wine from a box. No, that's not what it is. It is the day when all of the big boxing matches happen. No, that's not it either. It's supposed to be the day when you box up everything after Christmas. That's what my mother told me. I don't know if that's true. But it's Boxing Day, and that is today, and it is 7:59, so we are a minute early. And let me go in one time now. We have some things to deal with. Because things don't wait for Christmas, so we out and bad, right? Israel can jump out and tell Massive Gosine pull the song. Well, I went and Googled Israel Khan to see if he spoke at this time. Apparently, he didn't have the calypso sense then. I want you to hear the words of this song. Winston Rollins, Crow Crow.
I compare and contrast. I may tell you fast.
Share the video, please.
And in my conclusion, I see some black men as Jack.
Listen.
The days of slavery. Black man heart is hard like stone. Cause it's black man who make black man grown. Cause black man never like the old. That's why this last election, Coco grieving. Look at how all you treat Patrick Manning. The way all you cussing run him and tell him go. I never see the Indian street by step on the zone.
Hear the racism in this song.
Because switch from the tail. Indians and them they candle like bitches by the chain. So on behalf of all the good niggas that I know, well you should never ever treat me somebody so.
On behalf of all the good niggers that I know, all you should have never treat Mr. Manning so. That is Crow Crow 2011 Dimash Graf Finals. I hear none of these mocking pretenders jump out themselves. I Google because besides me, and I'm mourning the loss of the art form forever, sitting in the Dimash Graf show, sitting in the grandstand and watching it empty because nobody want to come and hear the racist drivel. You had to sit down and wait for the 2-3 good Calypsonians besides in between the politically sponsored Balize racist bullshit. And I want you to listen because I want to take them apart. I had no interest whatsoever in Massive Gosine. I had no interest whatsoever in Massive Gosine song. But you see hypocrisy? Hypocrisy is rubbing me wrong, boy. Listen to your boy, Crow Crow.
Shame on you, Dada. Everyone marked out on the wrong cock and Obika. The way all you destroy the black brother. You are for prostitutes of black power.
You are for prostitutes of black power.
Look at how all you get weak. Knock out I know choking him, he could hardly speak. I'm so disappointed in you, black man. Or you said a late bottom African.
This is what Crow Crow said in 2011 in the Dimash Graf to the royalty and the big pappies who were sitting in the big chairs, broadcast to the world, whoever was interested in it, lick bottom African.
All you air has shame. Give back the African man his name. You get a big white police commissioner.
You get a big white police commissioner.
Where are the advocates of black power?
Where are the advocates of black power?
Massive Gosine here and Rapata and Ricky Chai. I never see them put tears in basket and the act to the first to Oscar B. And crazy, you must understand. All of them is like bottom African.
Listen now, man, I can't play that whole night. I can't play that whole night because people will say, but Philip, that Crow Crow, tell my business for this. And you're right, you would be right to say it. But then, Crow Crow didn't start it. Crow Crow didn't invent tongue-in-cheek, double entendre. Crow Crow didn't put race in Calypso. We laughing it off 55 years now. This is the mighty Sparrow. And when white people at a party and this song play, white people can't get vexed. White people have to grin and bear it. This is our Calypso. I think you win with this one. Never eat a white meat yet.
About 2 lovely white women traveling all the way to Africa, found themselves deep in the heart of the Baluba in the Congo. taking them back to their husband. But there was a hungry.
We deal with it. Top down, bottom up.
Two white women traveling through Africa. Find themselves in the hands of a cannibal headhunter. He cook up one and he eat one raw. Them taste so good that he wanted more. They want more. Hi, envy the Congo man. I wish it was me, I want to shake his hand. He eat until his stomach upset, and I never eat a white meat yet.
Stop there. Stop there. Stop there. And it's not just calypso, and it's not just chutney. Stop there. Listen to this one. Listen to this one. This is a param.
This was last year, I spent in China. I had some fun in Chinatown. In front my door, out on the street, I heard music. It was sounding sweet. I looked outside to see who was playing. It was some Chinese playing music for me. One sing, boom, boom, jam, sing, boom, 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 one chong. That Sunday song, tingling, ting, tingling, bang, boom, sing, boom, wing, bang, boom, wing. That's how they sing. Chinese parang, Chinese parang, Chinese parang, bang, bang, bang. Chinese parang, Chinese parang, Chinese parang. Give me just to Kaisan. What time? What time? What time? Oh. I open my door and invite them in. The leader of the band started introducing.
Stop it there. Point made. Point made. And I'll tell you why I'm making all these points. I'm making all these points because I want to eat up the sycophants. And I need to do this. Somebody named, and I won't call nobody names anymore. We will change that. From now on, we will just refer to what they said. We ain't gonna put them on blast because they've come back. A lady told me today she's not following me because she's not following me anymore because of the position that I have taken on Rowley Mother Count. Rowley Mother Count is a song that is done in the perfect style of calypso. It's done in the perfect style of calypso. And it is written about somebody, R-O-W-L-E-E, by the game, Rowley Mother Count. And the entire song is, and it raises a very serious issue, predator larceny. Because people just thief your vegetables. This was a country where a man was arrested for telling the nation he injected poison in avocado that was stolen. The police didn't know what to do, so they went and arrested the farmer whose avocado was stealing. This is a mad upside down country, but stick all the pins you have there. Predator larceny, all the pimento, she counting that. So that is what the song is built on. So when they attacked that, I had to show them aloes and crow for the last 2 decades. So they wheel and they come again. And what they come with is blackface. They say that the woman in the video have blackface. And blackface is an insult to race. No problem. Chinese parang, ing tang ting pang pung, not a problem. Eat the white woman raw, not a problem. Lick bottom African for hiring white police commission, all that okay. You see, racism is real, and the people who cry race the most is usually the most racist people of all. And I am going to use this opportunity to expose the abject racism in this country. And I'll tell you why that racism is being used there. That racism is being used for one reason only, to keep black people in this country foolish.
Only making all this nigga? Only know this nigga from Grenada? Here now, girl, watch me. You know how long I have to do a video blog on you? But I keep calling to get the color of the paint, the body paint to do this. I call Benjamin Moore, Penta.
Everybody, nobody have this black color. I was looking for ugly black, nigger black, dotish black. Nobody have those colors in stock. It's finally... Berger called me yesterday and said they have a dog shit black. I said,
that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Daryl Duku, the best part of you run down your mother leg. And I'm telling you that. Your father should have wear a condom. Daryl Duku is nothing of importance and substance to anybody. Who bets? Forget that. You cannot be PNM and supporting Daryl Duku as an Indian man in blackface who say he went looking for nigger black and he had to settle for dog shit black to come and parody Marcia Brave Boy. Now Marcia Brave Boy and Alan Karim is be sharing licks on Philip Alexander every single day, and I've come to accept that all of this is par for the course. But these nasty dirty people are playing these nasty dirty race wars to keep those two insipid political organizations, the PNM and the UNC, relevant. Needs to be exposed. It needs to be exposed. So today when Israel can jump out himself and say that Massive Gosain should pull the song, I said, but you're wrong. You're wrong. It can't be one rule for one and another rule for another. You can't have it so. You can't have Dame Lorraine at carnival time as black people with white face and that not be racist. But if a white person put black face, it is. The word nigger is a bastardization of the word negra, which is Spanish. The Louisiana. I'm not defending none of this shit, you know. I'm not in all of this. I'm not in all of this. I just want to tell you that what is being done is tragic. And it has been allowed to prosper in this country for 55 years. For 55 years, Eric Williams realized that the British, this is how far back this went. There is a scene in Gladiator when the head senator asks Marcus Aurelius, when Rome is at your feet, you want us to believe that you will just walk away? He said, yes. That's what a man of honor does. But Eric Williams wasn't a man of honor. When Eric Williams realized that the British, I want to find a song for you though, that the British had divided the country racially, that Tate and Lyle was the employer of the Indians, and that the public service up to a level was the employer of the black man. They created an organization called DUDE. I think that DUDE, I'm not sure if DUDE was the first one. URP and CPEP and all of this nonsense come out of that. And what DUDE was created to do was to take the Africans off of the agriculture land. That's why we can't feed ourselves, you know. Up to the 70s, Trinidad was a net food exporter, but racist politics, disgusting, listen now, disgusting racist politics created DUDE to take the black man off the farm. So black labor and black farmers was doing well. To take them off the farm so that Indian people would suffer. And Indian people still learn how the recalcitrant minority, I'm not defending them, but I want you to know your history. They still learn to survive. They survive it until I, in my lifetime, watch the PNM. Clarence Rambarat, he's the Minister of Agriculture now. He was working Caroni then. He could tell you what I'm about to say is true. The PNM they created a program called High, Low, Handjack and Game, and this is no joke. They wanted to terrorize and destabilize half the country. And shutting down Caroni, when they told you Caroni cost the nation $500 million a year for no return, they didn't tell you CPEP and URP cost $1 billion a year for less return. But this is what was done with power, and the reason why I will never respect the UNC again, the UNC had political power after, and they didn't fix it. And how do you fix it? You right-size everybody. You don't say, okay, my turn to stick. But people in this country have suffered because of racism, and to the people who are telling me that this is not an issue, This is the critical issue. When you are sitting down bemoaning and belaboring the fact that we have no choices other than the PNM and the UNC, it is because the mass voter base has been divided, and Eric Williams did that. Eric Williams created the foolishness of the PNM. He was a master student. He studied at the feet of the throne, and he understood divide and rule better. That's why police and army used to fight one another in the country, because Eric was paranoid. And as long as police and army don't get along with each other, but they get along with he cool. He actually found a way to get two different sets of black people based on their uniforms fight each other. But black and Indian people have been divided, set apart, worse, set against each other politically in a nation, the only nation on the entire planet, this dot, this 1.3 million people, this speck on planet Earth is the only place out of almost 10 billion people. This is the only place in the world, in the whole globe, or if you name Nigel and the world flat, the whole flat Earth, this is the only place, this is the only place on Earth that black and Indian people fight war. This is the only place. Mohandas Gandhi, who became the Mahatma, fought his first legal struggles, his first activist battles were in South Africa against apartheid. Before he went in there to finish fight the empire. How Trinidad people come to reach the point where they're so lazy in their thinking that fools with office could tell you what to think and you accept it. Is it the PNM education that I keep hearing about? Because again, up to the 70s, this country had the highest standard of education in the Western world. And then we got this PNM education that the UNC continued, which was a conveyor belt of bullshit. 90% of the students coming out of the school functionally illiterate. And they're not taught how to think. They're not taught critical thinking. They're taught what to think and how to listen. We're making obedient drones. Our education system, a small 5 to 10%, is prestige schools. Prestige is another word for saying children of the 1%. That's what it's for. And if you go to St. Mary's College, Presentation College, Holy Name, St. Joseph, the racial balance of the country is disproportional, almost to the point that you will be tempted to think that racially we're brighter and stupider depending on who you are. But it's not so. Because that is untrue. And all of the facts of history teaches us that that is untrue. And I don't want to go into this too much because it's stinking disease, it's cancerous. And I don't want to catch that bullshit. I am defending this man's right. There is a saying. I may not agree with what you say, but I will fight to the death to defend your right to say it. And that's how I come to be in this. I don't get in this kind of bullshit. This is not for me. My job is to inform, educate, and empower, and I take pride in that. I take pride in every time somebody comes to me or writes me or messages me and said, I did not know half of what I know before. Thank you for opening my eyes. That's my job. Everything that I have, everything that I know, I bring to give it away for free. So whenever the conversations stray and Rowley name come up in the recent past, people would be posting this link, Rowley Mud account, on my threads. Usually I would delete it. I'm not listening to it. I'm not in that kind of bacchanal. But then the PNM Women's League put out this thing, calling the thing a fail. The same Women's League that being led by Camille Robinson Regis, who says she feels comfortable wearing skirts around her leader, who comes across as the most violent sexist in the country. In any other nation, Keith Rowley would have been charged for sexual harassment already. That comment in the parliament that a golf course is like a woman, that if it is not regularly groomed, it turns to ruin and becomes a pasture. Every woman in this country, you could imagine for a second if Donald Trump had said that. America shut down. America would have shut down. 7 million women came out on the road to protest President Trump for grab her by the pussy. 7 million women. And it was announced tonight, and 7 million women was in the road tomorrow. In this country, that jackass, that Neanderthal, that knuckle-dragging buffoon that is your prime minister, was allowed to belittle and denigrate every woman in this country by that statement. And jackasses like Judy Raymond from Newsday didn't publish it on the front freaking page. But Judy Raymond know why. Judy Raymond know why she can't take Rowley to task. And I know why too. So when Asha Javid and the rest of them can't stand up, Dr. Sheila Rampasad, when they can't stand up, when Louis Leeson can't jump out. Because you see, these people and Louis' son is the head of the Trinidad and Tobago Publishers Association for 52 years now. That organization don't have elections. It's either that, or it's only them in it, and they voted for themselves. But stick a pin there. This country is broken, it's twisted, it's upside down, it's inside out. And I'm telling you, Christmas Day, we fed people in town. And one of the people that I had to go and give food to, he was obviously a madman. All around him is piles of his own feces. And his entire body, head, hair, face, arms, legs, chest, he's sitting in it. And it's like he's covering himself in his feces. And I had to go and hand that man, but I couldn't reach him. The smell, I mean, it was hot midday sun on Independence Square. I had to rest that food down on the pavement. And I said, brother, this is your lunch here. Can't come near. This country stinker than that. And we are not paying attention to our peril. Everything that I am telling you, the reason you have it so hard, you want to dislike me, but you have to love me because, and people will say, everything he's saying is true, but I don't like the way he said it. How do you want me to say it? How do you want me to tell you that you are being mounted and anally raped regularly by every organization and institution masquerading as any kind of public office, anything of value in this country? How do I tell you that? In a calm and sober voice. How do I say that? How do I say that this is a country where a woman who was raped mercilessly walked into a police station naked because that's how her rapist let her go, and the police put her out? How? How to calmly tell you that? How? This is Trinidad and Tobago. It is not here by accident. It is here because of us. We are allowing this. We are allowing racism masquerading as politics to govern this country. And while that racism masquerading as politics is shielding you from the real freaking issues, the 1% bastards that don't look like any of y'all milking this cowboy. They're milking it for 55 years. The kind of money that passed through this country under Patrick Mervyn Augustus Manning, just that term could have paid for this country for the next 500 years. Just that term, just that boom, just that. Eric Williams, somebody said the first oil boom passed through this country like a dose of salts. They saw us coming from a mile. They said, look at them in their shiny suits. This newly rich little island, fine oil. They come down here and blow smoke up their ass by Kamal and Mahabir and Eric and O'Halloran. But anything that you wanted to hear, they was telling girls like that. They was bringing in girls for them. They was fooling them with shit. Johnny O and O.Y. and the rest of them. This country bought things at 5 and 10 times the price that were never delivered. Don't study that now. Cut, shut up. Shut up. Erica Williams Connell, to this day, cannot explain to this nation where her money come from. What did you do, Erica? Where did you get all that money from? But they vexed the man saying, Rowley mother count. I want to know if Farah's mother finished count, what she get for one Alexandra Place. And we have to ask these questions. Because you could either roll over and take stick, or you could stand up and say, stick time done. And my job. Guys, my job. Stick time done. Israel Khan, you don't like it? Forget it. You don't have to listen to it. Until Ituko willing to convene a symposium about respect and calypso, miss us with your bullshit. Rolling mother working hard. And this here, the linchpin, is the jackass Neanderthal told this nation he is the blackest man in the country. Nobody didn't tell him to say that. He come out with that on his own. He says he's the blackest man in the country. So why you vex if they portray the man mother black? Who you wanted to make Rowley a white woman? And I don't blame the woman for counting. I don't blame her for counting. The thief in pimento, the thief in sweet pepper, the thief the woman bygone. The truth of the matter is, the real truth of the matter is, you may not like the song. And that is your right. It is your right to not like the song. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have a right to be that disgusting. And I want to tell you, had Crow and Aloes and Chalk Dust and some of these others from before, even Sparrow, the mighty Sparrow, Jean and Dinah is two prostitutes. Yankee gone and Sparrow take over. When he sang that, Trinidad was a different place. That was obscene. That contributed to the demoralization of the nation. The undoing of the morals. Calypso has been used as a blunt force against people, against the PNM. That's what Calypso is used as. That's what it's used for. The best Calypsonian in this country right now, a fellow by the name of Kurt Allen, he can't get no work. He can't get no support. Kurt Allen can't get any of the help that he needs. Kurt Allen trying to save the Calypso art form. He's called himself the last Bajon of Calypso. But he in trouble because he can't get help because he not PNM.
I wanna fly, change, fly up in the sky. When see change up, things rearrange up. This is things they get rid of the past. Let the past be the past. And when see brand new,
They're going and tell you.
this is things they humble don't rubbish. The party have no more rubbish. But when I look around, what do I see? Recycled politicians. I see kangaroos like a salmon from Logan, hopping from bandwagon to wagon. So they polish and shine, they fall back in line. But that cannot take my mind. Jump high, jump low, when the sun or rain.
I ain't falling for that again.
It's the same faces, new administration, blowing new positions, with a brand new chief, UNC, the same bunch of scalping thieves. When the airport billions disappear, remember, Rudlal was right there. When the English bank account didn't declare, remember, Warner was right there.
New York City, New York City, New York City has 4 murders per 100,000. 4 murders per 100,000. New York City has 8.5 million people to police. New York City's commissioner is one man that oversees 65,000 police officers, and they have 4 murders per 100,000. They are closing at 300 murders for 2017, and it is causing meetings upon meetings and discussions upon discussions how to reduce that. This country is closing at 500 murders this year. And you see, we're playing smart with foolishness because not everything is a murder. Not everything is categorized as a murder, but there are a lot of missing people in this country that we do not know. As many people are out shopping and excited for Christmas, one family is losing hope that their loved one would return home safely. 45-year-old Anita Mohammed, a mother of 2, went missing on Tuesday night, and since then the search for her is ongoing. We were told the officers from the anti-kidnapping squad are finding it hard. Hear this again. Hear this again. We were told that officers from the anti-kidnapping squad were finding it hard to get someone in TSTT that would be able to give the cell phone call history from Mohammed's phone at her last known location. I know hackers that you just give them an opportunity, they will give you that information in 3 minutes flat. But the whole of TSTT can't help the anti-kidnapping squad to find this woman. Miss me with that bullshit. This country broken from the top down and the bottom up, it inside out and it's rotten and it's smelling stink. And a lot of these people who want to come to you and talk like paragons of virtue, I want you to check something. Office of the President becoming vacant in March. And that is the best racket in this country. If you could climb far enough up Rowley's ass and massage his colon effectively, you might get the nomination. Because President of the Republic of the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of Do What the Hell You Like land is the best racket around. You could do what you like. They can't touch you, they can't sue you, they can't do you nothing. He's a boss upon bosses. Every now and then, they will call you and ask you to hold a holy book so some jackass could swear himself in to come and thief. And that's it. That's the work. That's the whole work. After that is you and party. Best racket. Best. So look for all of them stuntmen and stuntwomen to be stunting. Those are interviews. Orville London cannot get that post. You all stop sharing that bullshit about Orville London. Orville London is ugly in the dark. Somebody told me Orville London have an ugliness you could feel, and they haven't lied. There is a certain point where you cannot be president because you're ugly, and Orville London too ugly for that job. So whoever's selling all of that bullshit, tell them, hey, slow your roll. Ever ugly quotient that he miss. He miss it. You ever watch that man? In pitch blackness, you could be standing in a room with 400 other people and Orville London in that room too, and you could sense that man ugliness. He could never be president of the Republic. Stop talking about that. They would have telegraphed that already. That's why London is in London. They sent him as far as they could, so they don't have to look at him. Any other post that they put him in, every now and then they have to look at him. They don't FaceTime with London, you know. Send me a text. Send me a WhatsApp. And I'm not bullshitting. I'm telling you, PNM people tell me this. PNM people tell me this. This is not me. I'm not making this up. But the rest of the stuntmen and stuntwomen, they're busy right now because the job up for grabs in March. The job up for grabs. And President of the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of Do What the Hell You Like land is the best racket in town. Sabga dead. Having people in the boardroom refer to him as Mr. President for the past 10 years, you know. He thought he had it, you know. He and Manning make all kind of deals, you know. This is not no joke on Japan. They think he had it. Now they say, Rowley here, say Merry Christmas to Pandey on Pandey Post. I hear this shit that passes for conversation in this country while we're getting molested by politicians and the people that pull the strings of these politicians. Bridgman's, Cabo Star, and the forehand massage raping us. And we talking foolishness about Rowley mother count. Stuart Young mother married to a banker. She could count. How come Stuart Young mother count ain't become a calypso yet? Faris mother counting. One Alexandra Place money. That is a verse for a song. But I want to tell Massive Nirmal Gosine tonight, I want to do the remix. I want to do the crossover. I want to do a calypso. And you see, for the ones who the word mother is the problem, I want to remove the word mother. I want to change the word. I want to change the name of the song. Massive. Somebody hook Massive up with me. Tell him to call me 682-2110. I want to redo the song. And I want to go in the big yard and sing it in Skinner Park. I want to change the name to Rowley Murder Count. I want to call it Rowley Murder Count. And I want to sing the names of the 488 black people that have been murdered for this year alone. Rowley Murder Count. And you see the black face that worry them? I will give it to them harder, because I will give you a video with 488 dead bodies, head splatter all over the place, blood flowing like water. Rowley Murder Count. We will take it seriously now. We will find seriousness out of this bullshit, because that's what we're supposed to be talking about. Rowley Murder Count. Not the murder count. I don't care about that. That's where we're supposed to go. But the UNC supported Massive Gosine because all this brouhaha and bubble again makes them relevant. They can't talk plans, programs, policies and ideas because you will confront them. You will confront them and say, if you know to do that now, you all have had office out for 2 terms. How come you didn't do it then? How come? Is it the PEP? Is it the fact that the people actually have an alternative now? So all of a sudden, all of you all thinking, no, you can't. You can't. And they can't accept that. You see how much polls they're polling? Poll after poll after poll. They need to distract us and destabilize us and throw us off balance. The Progressive Empowerment Party tells you that if the government wanted to end murder in this country today, by tomorrow it's done. Whole weekend, Christmas weekend, bandits in this country busting shots in the air. All over. I don't know where you all live, but Diego Martin, Cocorit. If you know what a gunshot sounds like, there's a difference between busting bamboo, fireworks, and gunshots. These fellas telegraphing their firepower and testing what they're renting and what they're buying. But it's Christmas time, so they can Lego shots and nobody to check them. There is an actual technology existing in the world about 25 years now called Shot Spotter. You could pause if you think I am talking bullshit, and you can Google it. Shot Spotter is an actual system that you put on top of a police station, equidistant throughout the country, and within a 3-mile radius, if a gunshot is fired, it triangulates. It could tell you the type of gun, it could tell you the caliber, and it could tell you the location. Shot Spotter. But we don't have Shot Spotter, we have shit kickers. We have shit splatters. We don't have real technology. Our police service, our police force is a joke. The technology that they have to work with is ridiculous. You can't just jam police. Because the people who controlling the budgets, the people who spending the money, making it difficult for police to do their job. And I said today, of all the money that we spend, I see police driving Prado. Of all the money that is spent on police cars, every time you hear that police don't have a car, question if police knew and are okay with the crime being committed. Because it doesn't make sense to me. This is a country where you're supposed to be 5 minutes from a police station at any given time. And we're not. It's a country where the police service has enough vehicles to put enough police on the road and control them via GPS so that you could look on a screen and find the closest police vehicle, cruiser, to send to the emergency. But you can't, not in Trinidad, because even though we spent the hundreds of millions of dollars to buy all the cameras and to buy all the technology and put all the GPS in all the vehicles, they turn it off. Ask the PNM and the UNC why. Ask them why. Ask them why. The truth of the matter is, everything in this country that is broken purposely. It is broken deliberately. It is broken by design You are not isolated because it's an accident. This country doesn't qualify as a borough in New York City. If you brought the New York City Police Commissioner here and told him to stop crime, within 3 months, bandits rowing pirogue out of Trinidad. Because they do that on a daily basis. They deal with 8.5 million people on a little island. And you can't get off the island just so, and you can't get in just so. Because they run the country, they run the city, they run it. It's actually done, it's set up to work. So when they tell you 4 murders per 100,000 this year causing uproar, and we have 50, and instead of Rowley murder count, all you're studying Rowley murder count, Israel can miss me with that, you know, partner. All you're on real kicks, you know. This country could do with an undo and a redo of every stunting jackass that the media turns to for a quote. We don't need to hear from them ever again. Not one. There is not one salvageable soul that you could say if he or she never speaks on a national issue. You know the only one that we had that we missed, the murderer? Dana Sitaha. The only one that spoke sense, equal hand. She wouldn't join nobody political party. She gave information as you needed it. That is the one they killed. The Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of do what the hell you like land. And they're going to send the little trolls, the little fake profiles, and the stunting talking heads outside there to damage Philip. You know what they're doing? Because as get it, hold there, get it. Philip, look what they say, look what they send. Look at what they post, look at what they tell me. Because you're hearing and you're seeing and you're getting awoke. So you're going out there now awoke and you're sharing awoke information like concentric rings, ripples in a pond, because this is what we're trying to do. To force a tsunami of change. We want everybody awoke, informed, educated, empowered. Say, wait now, I don't have to lie down and take kick. I could stand up. Because when people realize that they could stand up, kicking down. And when the people realize, wait a minute, there's 1.3 million of us and it's 50 of y'all. 1.3 million of us have been disadvantaged, disenfranchised, dispossessed by 50 of y'all. Goodwood Park, every property will go for sale. Fairways, Val Park, Sinclair. Because the people would be awoke in a nation where the business community thrives on slave labor. Where we pay wages that cannot do fire truck all. And they don't want to have that conversation. Where they put union leaders that are willing to be bought politically, that will sell the people below them for pennies. For pennies. So instead of you getting parity and equity, you're getting bullshit and led astray by a union leader. The country is broken top down, bottom up, inside out and upside down. You have to pay attention. You have to see. And you know what they say? Once you see, you can't unsee. Once you know, you can't unknow. You have to choose to be ignorant and foolish after that. If a woman gets rescued from a house where she's been abused and she goes back, don't invite me to the funeral. She chose that. But make sure that you have a system in place that when you bring her out, you could give her hope and opportunity. You could give her life. You could prevent that jackass coming near her. But if she chooses to go back, partner, some things beyond your control. Our country could be a better country tomorrow. The FBI or Scotland Yard would come and in 2 weeks identify all of the rogue police stations in the country where all of the inter-police crime is taking place. They will identify the hierarchy because it's not random shit, you know. There is an actual hierarchy of criminal enterprise within the police service. We just found out, you hear what they're accusing the Chief Justice of. And he's not the only one stunting. You have a responsibility to wake up and stand up. All of these guys and gals in all of these fancy titles are just public servants, you know, public employees. They're working for you. But you've been conned and confused and sold this bullshit idea that this your honor so-and-so or this your honorable so-and-so is somehow better than you. When what it really means is that these people are supposed to live up to the title. It's not automatically conferred. It comes with the office, the honorable member, the honorable minister. But if the person holding the office is a jackass, what happens to the title? You can't describe a pig in a dress as a lady. You can't. It's still a pig in a dress. And we have to vote ourselves a better country. There is nothing, no matter who send you, and come at me. I tell you all, come 19 Stanmore Avenue every Saturday I'm there. Come at me, write down the talking points they give you, and come. Talk it here. Raise your issues, because I want to tell you, there is not a problem in this nation that we cannot solve, and that we cannot solve so quickly, so equitably, that every single member of this country gets hope and opportunity and equality before all organizations of state. We could do that in almost overnight. The countries are dot. The countries are dot. It takes, the United States, if we ask them for help, in 24 hours, they could shut our entire borders down. Cold. Nothing in, nothing out, without search. And they could do that by sending a Coast Guard fleet, not even a Navy fleet, because a Navy fleet is bigger than the Trinidad and Tobago landmass. They will send a Coast Guard fleet and shut it down completely. Nothing in, nothing out, without search. Immediately, the drug trade is over. Immediately, the drug trade is over. But wait, we still have the 40% of shipping containers. Thousands upon thousands of shipping containers coming straight off the ship, going to the people's house without stopping. Not even to pass, go collect 200. We need to stop that bullshit. Every container of every ship must be searched. Every container of every ship must be unstuffed. That way, the drug trade and the gun trade over. But wait, you still have the diplomatic pouch. That can't check. Well, I'll tell you what. A Progressive Empowerment Party government will sit with each of those ambassadors and high commissioners and tell them, listen to me. In your presence, because we're not interested in any of your correspondence, you unstuff your pouch in front of us. We're only looking for drugs and guns. Once they don't have no drugs and guns, take your business and go. We're not looking at your information. If that is too much to ask for, while we are turning off the drug pipeline and the gun pipeline, making a mess of our country, if it is too much for us to ask for you to give us that ability to check your diplomatic pouch, you're going to have to close down your embassy and your high commission until it's safe for you to come back. Because this country and the people of this country has been victimized for too long. Somebody told me it's not cocaine they imported, Philip. It's dirty US dollars by the hundreds of millions of dollars. And they need businesses with massive branches. They need hardware, groceries, restaurants. Those things, easy to launder money. You could have a restaurant, nobody come in for the night for the last 3 years. But every night you're running off that cash register, $100,000 in cash sales. Hardware, grocery, restaurant. All of a sudden, bars like that. And not no little corner bar that when you go, you can't expect them to do more than $10,000 a night. Them is big shot bars now. All of a sudden, even in the height of a recession, we're opening them by the grab, begging the question, what is really going on? What is really, really going on? Now, all of a sudden, Chinese massive groceries, one is opening on Diego Martin Main Road, Gansu. Where that come from? In everything else that's going on in the country, Chinese restaurants, gyro restaurants from people who are not Trinidadians. Trinis can't get money to open restaurant, catching their ass. But people who can't even talk English come in here and setting up shop. Big, big shop. What's that going on? You do not have a government that is serious about protecting you and this country. You've not had that for a long time. When Patrick Manning could have been summoned to the West and fired, and Keith Rowley elevated by people you do not know, that people you don't talk to, that won't talk to you, don't consider that People's National Movement a democratic party. It plays one on TV, but it is not really one. When Farris and Stewart and Phelps could parachute into the party and become overnighters and stunters at the highest level, while people nose hair grey, the hair in the air is grey, they laboring in the vineyards for decades, and then can't get past ordinary member. But these young boys, parachuting, use the PRO, Farris is the PRO, and now Stuart Young is the PRO. Where that come from? Up to 2012, Stuart Young wasn't even a member of the PNM. Where that come from? Tell me. Truth talk. Right. Yeah, that was a distracting WhatsApp message. Okay, so where do we go from here? Undo and redo. Undo and redo the police service. Undo and redo the court system. I set it in. I sent out something this morning. I'll read it to you now, if I can find it, because this world gets so busy. I'll give it to you now. Before I get to that, I want to tell you this. And I'll close. This is the last thing I say on this. It is called for Massive Gozain to pull his song Rowley Mother Count, Israel Khan is Wrong. That song is doing what no politician, lawyer, or biased Tuko board could ever have done. And that is to finally get PNM supporters to understand what it feels like when you are whipped and dehumanized by the very culture that is supposed to uplift. Under normal circumstances, with a level play field, where all the crocros and aloes were held to the same high standard, I would have wholeheartedly agreed with the call to have Gozain pull the song. But the fact is, women of this country have been denigrated in song for political benefit for decades, with not a peep from all of these sudden paragons of virtue and character. So why now? Why this song? Where were these calls when the sitting prime ministers compared golf courses to women and said, like women, they need to be groomed every day or return to ruin? Was he asked to pull that statement and apologize? So why the double standard? The truth is, Calypso has been allowed to divide this nation along racial lines in the most obscene fashion for decades and excused as culture. So why is this not Calypso too? You cannot carry culture down into the toilet and then cuss when others follow you there. Massive Gozain has broken no laws except perhaps the law of good taste. And in response to these calls, I, Philip Edward Alexander, call on Nirmal Massive Gozain to ignore any calls to pull the song until Tuko agrees, that the Trinidad Unified Calypso Organization agrees to convene a national symposium on the art form focused on respect for others in Calypso, and until Crocro and Aloes and the others are made to apologize for their more disgusting contributions. Until then, my friend, sing it loud and sing it hard and shake the very timbers of Calypso and culture until every creed and race and gender could find an equal and respectful place there too. That should be our goal. That should be our goal. Yes? Tell me. That should be our goal. I have a song for you. That is the song I wanted to play tonight. So many things is trying to happen in this little space of time. Yeah? I'll take it on YouTube. Talk to me. This song didn't get the mileage it was supposed to get. This, I think, is probably, if not his best song, one of his very best songs. Would you listen to the words of this song?
Welcome to the place. All we talk about is race. Race to the function, race to the Afghan, race in complex ways. There's an island down in the south by the Oklahoma. Funk and fire, human desire. What place I'm talking about?
Talking about Trinidad, half the country mad.
Welcome to Trinidad, where half the country mad. Talking about Trinidad.
Papayo.
That's the way we go. Shots will fire, waves will hurt, and we hear a soul coming. If you come by plane with a lie, or by a boat, the coast guard didn't sing
Talk to me. All them political talkers posting posts on Facebook can't defend it, can't stand up, can't give you a plan, a policy, a program either. They have to join somebody else. Shyness and rum is friend, partner. When it pours, you rain and thanks to rap. Mad, I tell you. You get what you tolerate, what you allow. Closing in on 500 murders for the year, countless persons missing and presumed dead. Neither the Minister of National Security, his two sidekicks, or the permanently acting Commissioner of Police are giving an accounting for the dismal failure of the protective services to secure the nation. No answers as to the woeful detection and interdiction rate. All crime at an all-time high and escalating. And no one has to account. Contrast our murder rate, just under 50 dead per 100,000 with New York City, who will be closing this year with 300 dead out of a population of 8.5 million, or a rate of just under 4 per 100,000. And that is attracting scrutiny, investigations, and public discussions. Here we make our murder rate a joke. So those charged with preventing and solving murder can treat it as a joke too. Our education system has a 90% failure rate. Sure, we have numbers that sound like our children are being educated, but those are fudged and made up numbers for the media to broadcast, so that the Minister of National Education and the PTA are not put to sit under the glaring spotlight of public opinion by a nation who demands to know how we went from the highest standard of education in the Western world in the 70s to a system that graduates young people still functionally literate after 10 years of school. Our mortality rates at the nation healthcare facilities would grind the system to a halt if we had the accountability meetings the rest of the civilized world would demand from any arm of government, costing 10% of the national budget every year. But not here. Here politics has taught us that we're fools, that we take nothing seriously, so we don't. And that is just three things out of everything that does not work. But to continue would be to belabor the point. Now look at what the national attention is focused on. Look at what passes for media is focused on. Look at what government and opposition are trading punches on. And you will come to understand the size of the vomit stain that is the management of this country that we have to deal with. When we in the PEP say that our solution for everything that ails and fails is to undo and redo, I am sure most people do not grasp the size of the mission ahead. We bandy words about like developed nation and first world nation to fool each other in a nation that barely limps in at fourth world and is closer to failed nation status than developed. Our justice systems needs to be shut down. Everyone from the Chief Justice to the lowest public law clerk fired and rebuilt from the ground up. Nothing about it qualifies for keeping. Not one building, not one employee, possibly not even one line of our manifestly twisted and dysfunctional law. This is a nation that forces things to fit. The police were allowed to arrest a gentleman for a Facebook post and hold him for days while they looked for a charge that could fit the presumed crime. In a democracy, our police service is not respected or trusted. And while police say we can feel that way until we need police help, even that line is getting less and less true every day. To be frank and honest, it is getting harder and harder to tell police from thief in a nation of criminal boundaries where the proceeds of crime are divided among all manner of persons and no justice for those actually picking up the tab. Undo and redo the PEP way in the TTPS calls for a complete redo that fires and re-interviews all those already trained as police, that investigates lifestyle, contrasted with income, to check for possible instances of bribery, criminal and gang involvement, that polygraphs and drug tests and continuously polygraphs and drug tests those allowed to continue on in the service for the rest of their career, that trains and retrains on a regular basis or as needed, that educates, incentivizes and motivates, and leads in a system of meritocracy that encourages excellence and rewards performance. We won't get anywhere ever if we continue to treat all of the colossal failures of this land as jokes. We cannot bob and weave our way forward any longer. All our chickens are coming home to roost at the same time. And whether we laugh or cry, it matters not. The nation is on schedule to fail if no serious intervention is mounted. You have to decide if what you want is a functional nature. And if you do, you have to face that. If either the PNM or the UNC wanted this nation to be a functional nation, they would have done it by now. No amount of lesser evil nonsense lets either party off the hook here. No more who thief more, who fail less. No tribal, ethnic, racist foolishness. No mommy and daddy voted this way, so I have to vote this way to diminishes responsibility. Our choices are simple. Either we vote ourselves a better country or we let it fail. The Progressive Empowerment Party has comprehensive solutions for all that ails the society, including home ownership that right-sizes the society, reduces crime, and puts even minimum wage earning families in their own homes. Comprehensive food production plans that puts the farmers to work again, that repurposes CPEP and URP to functionality in the agriculture sector, and reduces the cost of living across the board. Our financial sector redevelopment plan reins in the rogue and rapacious banking sector, ends fees, reinstitutes interest to be paid on depositor funds, opens the sector to competition that would invigorate service, and governs and controls the actions of all licensed insurance and accounting firms. Our healthcare and education plan fixes both in quick time and gets both to proper first world functionality where outcomes drive actions. Our water policy decentralizes water distribution to the constituencies and allows for the real attainment of water for all. In this country, truck-borne water is racket. Our crime plan shuts down the nation's borders and stuffs all containers on the port and brings to an end the drug and gun trades, fueling the gang violence, washing this nation red with murderous blood. We have to take responsibility here. What we vote for, that is what we will get. If what we want is more corruption, more mismanagement, more failure, more noise, then change nothing and let the worst continue. But if what we want is a functional first world nation where the public service serves the public, if what we want is accountability and delivery in all aspects of governance, if we want equality and justice for all from, in and via all public institutions and arms of state, then we are going to have to involve ourselves in the conversation, avail ourselves of information for the discussion, and by our direct actions, encourage a change in the culture of our politics and vote ourselves a better nation. Make no mistake, what we tolerate and what we allow is what we will get, and we will have to settle for it. Time and time again. Yeah, that is on my wall. I will put it in the thread if you want it. You could share it because that is the conversation that we need to be having. Jump high, jump low. We are where we are because of our actions or our inactions. Where we want to be could be changed by our actions, by our direct involvement. There is nothing preventing us fixing this country but us. Political laziness and apathy will only lead to more of the same. If you're thinking of fleeing the nation, why not invest that passion in making those who are robbing the nation flee instead? How about join with us and let us rebuild our country?
Your vote will decide our destiny. Your vote will decide what you want to be. Your vote can foretell our country's fate. But use it well.
Before it's too late.
If it is that who you're voting, ready on the top. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is they prove it to be your thing on them out.
When you're voting,
Vote them out. Vote them out.
if it is them building,
Now that
change should come about.
just as how you vote them in.
Vote them out.
Register and vote them out. If they can see, vote them out. State your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy, vote them out. Vote them out with total scorn and
terminate the rain.
Let's put our country together again.
All right. Anybody in the communication or television industries, I need some help. This is the base of a Mevo. This is the base of the Mevo cameras. We have 2 Mevo cameras. Now, Vidya Huchen, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. She sent us these stands for the Mevos because we asked somebody to help us with stands. And she sent us these stands. Only problem is, this bolt on top of the stand is bigger than the actual Mevo, the hole below the Mevo. And I understand that there is some sort of adapter that you could get. I've tried to get it in Trinidad, and we don't have them here. And if anybody outside, because that shouldn't be a big thing to get to break down from one screw size to the next. And if you want to help the Progressive Empowerment Party with PEP Media, because as part of that, we need to get that, and I would appreciate the assistance, please. Yeah? So, yeah, that's that. Boxing Day. Boxing Day is over. And somebody just told me, China, we don't have government. Good night, Philip. I'm relating this story to you because I have no idea how to find out about or report this. On Christmas Eve, 2 men dressed in white Muslim garb came to my gate. My husband and I were out on the porch. One of the men said, "Hello, is this a Muslim home?" He had a pronounced accent, definitely not local. My husband said no, and they went to another house. When I related this to my mother, who lives close by, she said that they were missionaries from Pakistan staying at a nearby mosque. I have never heard of Muslim missionaries, and I'm concerned by their presence. My concern is not based on intolerance. It's based on the fact that they are going house to house asking about people's religious beliefs. I'm questioning whether they are here to recruit for ISIS to spread other or to instigate. I feel a slight paranoia coming on. I don't even know what to tell you. It could be, as your neighbor said, it could be missionaries. I don't know. Anyway, you had to ask around. You had to find out. You had to ask them. Trinidad and Tobago, our situation, this is Christmas. While we celebrating Christmas, there are people mourning the loss of family members missing and dead. This is as broken as a nation could possibly be. We cannot continue to have the highest murder rates in the world. We cannot continue to be the most corrupt nation in the world. We cannot continue to fail at the level we're failing at in a country where a recession, this is a fake recession. Right now, the United States and China, both of our major trading partners, are registering the highest growth in years. In years. How come we are in a recession 2.5 years now? The entire globe, with the exception of 2 countries, Trinidad and Suriname, the entire globe is on path for economic growth this year. I am saying to Trinidad and Tobago, this recession appears fake. It appears to be a ruse to drive people either out of the country or out of business, to send people into bankruptcy so that others with money, cash rich, could buy up your properties. This is no longer acceptable. Everything that I am telling you, you can check for yourself. The country is broken from the top down and the bottom up, twisted, inside out and upside down. It is rotten to the absolute core. The diagnosis is real. We need intervention. We need an election. We need to vote the PNM and the UNC into the historic dustbin. We need to undo and redo everything, and we need to start over. And we need to do it quickly because our country is failing. Yeah? This being Christmas week and the Christmas holidays, I am not sure when next we do a video because it's not going to just start back nightly now. But it could be tomorrow or not, depending on what's happening. For those of you, the PEP app, I was just given notice that the PEP app has been upgraded. If you don't yet have the PEP app, which gives you all the notifications for all the live shows when they're happening, download it now. PEP, 2 3-letter words, 2 separate words, PEP app. Download it at any of the app store. It's free of charge. Thank you, Maya Khan, for the wonderful work you do. PepTT.com, www.peptt.com. Rohan Senanan. Rohan San is our member who handles the PEP website, peptt.com, peptrimbago@gmail.com. To those of you who are trying to get in touch with us about the housing policy, we are going to have a housing meeting early in the new year. If you are in need of low-income housing, if you would like to get on this list, if you would like to be invited to the meeting, send us an email to peptrimbago@gmail.com. Write in the subject line the word housing. Tell your friends and tell your family. We're compiling this and we're going to be calling that meeting soon. Yeah, dear Dave, laugh your head off. Yeah, that's about it for tonight. I hope that you all had a real nice and enjoyable Christmas, and wishing you, if I do not see you before, a very bright, happy, prosperous New Year. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.